Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. You're like 4 minutes late, and I was like, "Is his wife in labor?"
No. I just
Not yet.
I had a new client onboarding, and sometimes they go over because I want to answer all their questions.
Well,
Future
I was
questions.
hoping.
Yeah.
How,
You were hoping for that one?
well, yeah, it's a baby.
No, 5 more days. Unless, well, I don't know.
I mean,
Ashley's been,
babies come when babies come.
yeah, all day. Ashley's been like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to Tuesday, John. So
Yep, that's how it goes.
we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I woke up feeling really puffy today. I don't know why, but it's also day one of my period, so cycle. So I don't
I
know.
see that.
It's all stuff.
All stuff. Yeah, so you just started cycle. So I'm not going to adjust macros just because I knew you were leading up to your cycle and you just started it. So I don't want to adjust any food at all until a couple weeks after your cycle, just to let your body kind of level out, get into like that peak ovulation phase. I'm not even concerned about your food right now. One thing is your water has not been very consistent.
It has not. It has not. I need to get better at that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You'd think with the summer and the heat, it would be easier. I don't know what my
people just get busy. I do it. In fact, I've been having to keep this, and I know plastic.
Oh
yes,
no.
But man, I just need to get my water in. So whatever.
Yeah. All right, I will focus on that this week.
Good. And so, but you feel like the adjustment medication has helped you kind of even back up.
I do. I haven't had as much of the afternoon energy crash. All of that has been better. And I get my blood drawn on Friday to see where my levels are at. So that'll be really interesting to see.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it will be interesting. Yeah, dude, I know you'll update me, but yeah.
Yeah. I definitely haven't been losing any weight.
No, but again.
But I did just start my cycle, so.
Exactly. So that's super, like, it's one of those super frustrating for women in the fact that they have to consider that. But the reality is that when we're looking at fat loss, unless you're in a very, sometimes I even tell, and every client's different, right? This is important, right? Because some people will say, oh, well, all women creep up in weight going into their cycle. Not necessarily true. I have clients that, their lowest weight of the month is when they're losing weight is always like day 26. Like they're always at their lowest right before they start their cycle. Some clients it's right before ovulation. Some clients it's right after. Some clients it's 5 days after their the day they stop bleeding is their lowest weigh-in. So you can't really pinpoint it to a certain phase of the cycle for everybody, but it is important to know your body. In fact, that's where now because of the medication and just what we've been dealing with, we don't really have like a crazy trend, right? Because like, for example, when you were hyperthyroid, you were losing weight so fast that it didn't matter what your cycle was doing, you were just going to go down. And so we don't really have a trend. So I can't say for the most part, like what your low point is during your cycle. But as things get more even and we continue to progress, that should start to become a trend. And you should start to know, like, because you might hit your goal weight and then, 3 months later you'll get on the scale because you're curious and you're up 3 pounds and you're like, but you just didn't know that, like, oh, well, day 15 of my cycle is my heaviest. That's like a dumb time for me to get on the scale. And so learning those things can be really advantageous, but we're just not at a place with what we're working through where that makes sense. So you can't really pinpoint it anyways.
Yeah. It's been such a roller coaster. Yeah. And I've never, figured that out for myself either. I feel like there's been times where I had a trend of like when I knew my weight was going to be the lowest, but then I feel like it's changed in different seasons of life. So I don't know for sure where I'm at right now.
Absolutely. How's hunger feeling?
Hunger has been pretty good. I feel like I've had more cravings, but then again, it's the week before my cycle. So, felt like I wanted to eat more, but probably not because of actual hunger. It was probably more just, PMS type cravings. Yeah. So hopefully that's leveling out. But I don't feel like I did before where it was like, I can't eat that much. I definitely can eat the amount that I'm, of my macros right now.
Oh, good. Well, that's good. That definitely shows a little bit of stabilization, which is good.
Yeah. So I feel like it's, as far as my hunger levels, it's a good level. I don't feel like it's too much. I don't feel like it's way too little.
Okay, good. And then I saw sleep's good, so that's good.
Yeah, sleep has been amazing. So that's been good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about running.
Okay.
How have the runs been feeling?
They've been feeling good. I feel like I'm actually able to see improvements, as I'm doing more. Before, when I was running, I was like getting more and more hyperthyroid. And so I was, everything was getting worse. And so it was, I remember telling you, I feel like it's frustrating because I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere, which I wasn't because of hormones.
Yeah.
But now I feel like, and I've been doing most of the runs on my treadmill, just because I feel like that's the easiest way to get my heart rate at a level place. And so like the first run that I did on my treadmill, it was like, I think it was like almost a 14-minute mile. So like crazy slow. But then the last one I did was like 13-minute mile. So I see like, I'm able to go faster while still keeping my heart rate in the same range. So I feel like I'm making progress.
Do you use a watch?
Yes. Yeah, Fitbit.
Okay. Then I have a tiny bone to pick with you.
Uh-oh.
I didn't ask that question. You're not updating your running spreadsheet.
Oh.
My
running spreadsheet.
I can't see your progress. I don't know anything about your
I don't think I can update that, can I?
You should be. Not on UpCoach. Maybe, you know what?
Where do I find that then?
Let me see, I went to pick a bone, and maybe I'm picking a bone with myself.
I didn't know. You have to tell me that I have to do it.
Did I share it? I think I actually need to share the spreadsheet with you. Hold on.
That would be helpful.
Is it? All right, I just shared it with you, so it should be shared on your Google Drive. But just go in here and like on the days you run, just fill out the average pace you ran and the average heart rate. So let me just share it with you real quick. But yeah, so you just come in here and you'll just put like the average heart rate you had for the run and then your average pace.
Okay.
And we haven't gotten intervals, but like I'll put your interval numbers I want you to do here once we get in like the YASAs and all that.
Okay.
But we're not there yet. That way I can just see the trend, and I'll even end up creating a plot so we can kind of see the progression of because we want to see your pace go up and we want to see your heart rate come down.
Okay.
It's kind of the goal. Yeah. So just when you get a moment, fill that out so that I can come back and look at it. But that's good. I'm glad that things seem to be progressing.
Yeah. Yeah. To not feel like you're making any, or it's like just as hard as when you started. It's discouraging, but when you actually see those little improvements, it's like, okay, motivation to keep going.
Yeah. And that's the thing about running. And if you like you just fall in love with it. I'm not saying, you'll go crazy and start running like ultras, but you just loving running in general. You'll notice that like running is like that. Like you see the elite runners and you think, oh my gosh, how they just never have bad days. And that's not true. Like running is one of those things that like, issue like what you've been experiencing might hinder your progress. Or like, for example, me and my daughter had a summer cold for the past 2 weeks. And so the past 2 weeks, my running has just, my heart rate I haven't progressed at all because today was my first run where I just crushed it. It was just a great run. But like, I'm at the point now I've gotten sick enough while running over the past 4 years. I've kind of learned that like even when everything's going right, like one little thing can trigger a couple weeks of just like stagnant. And it's just learning to like address the issue. And if the issue can be addressed and you can still run, if you need to take a break, like learning how to adjust based off that. But like, yeah, like running is one of those things. The gym generally, like even if you're stronger by like 2 pounds, you can kind of see that over the course of but running, there can be blocks of time for like a month where like you're not seeing any progress because of some kind of stressor in your life, and then it'll go away and all of a sudden magically, because you kept up with it, you'll catapult an effort. So yeah, there's something to be aware of too with it.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Cool. Let's see. So we covered, so your weight, macros will stay the same. Running's good, sleep's good. Get your water up. I shared the spreadsheet so you can edit it. Is there anything else? Is anything that you wanted to talk about?
Well, I wanted to ask, so you have me running 4 days a week, and then I also have my exercise class 2 or 3 days a week. Is that okay, like to do that much?
Yeah, as long as you're getting 1 to 2 full rest days a week.
Okay, 1 to 2.
So
okay.
you want to, so some days you want to stack. That's what the carbs are for, right? The carbs are not just because you're like, if you were only doing 2 miles a day and you weren't lifting weights, I wouldn't give you extra. Like, you don't need a bunch of extra carbs to kind of pull something like that off. But if you're stressing your body out with a run and pulling glycogen, and then you're lifting weights, right? So I like, for example, for me, I take 2 to 3 full days off a week. I just double stack. So days I run, I usually lift weights. I think I have 1 day a week where I run and I don't lift weights, but that's usually like a really long run. You know, I'm running for like 3 hours straight, whatever. And so most of the time I find it most advantageous to run and train on the same day, because then you get the most out of your nutrition that day. And then you get full rest days on the following days, which allows for much better recovery for your next training. Because if you never ran, you're running and you're stressing your body out, and then the next day you don't rest and you're lifting weights, and then you go back, you notice like your body doesn't recover as quick. And so even though it feels harder the day of to like train and run at the same time, you'll notice the next day when you go to run, when you have that full rest day in between or whatever, you'll notice much better recovery and better progression. And I always say, like, run first, then lift weights. 2 reasons. One, your miles are low enough that not only, because if you lift weights first and then you run, people tend to find that their heart rate is much higher during the run because their body's stressed out from the lift. But you can run for 2 miles and then go work out, and your body tends to be more warmed up for the workout. So you actually perform better at the workout than you would have if you would have not ran and gotten that warm up in. And so I think just twofold, it's better to run first and then do the weightlifting session.
That's good to know. I'll have you adjust the dates, unless I can do it on there, because my exercise class is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So I'd want the runs to be on those same days also. I think they're on Monday, Wednesday. So if I could do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday for the runs, that would be ideal.
And I'll make you a longer one on Sunday.
Okay.
And boom, adjusted.
Awesome. Cool.
I got you. Cool. All right. Well, let's just keep kicking butt. Let's see let me know what your doctor says or what the test results are. Yep. And then we'll come back in 2 weeks and we'll follow up.
Come back in 2 weeks with a baby.
I'll probably have a little baby on my chest while I'm talking to you.
So excited.
All right, cool. Talk soon.
Thank you.